Good morning, students. So in today's class we will be discussing about the location strategies. Alright, so what is basically a location? A location is a place where your business is set up, or where your facility is set up, where you are actually going to manufacture your product and then you are going to ship it out to the market. But it is not only about setting up a new factory, right? So first of all, the first thing is in the location, that is setting up a new facility. Suppose you guys are working for a company called XYZ and the company's management wants to set up a new facility for their production of a product called ABC, right? So where are you going to set it up? Okay? Because India is a very large country. It consists of 30 states and you have to decide where you are going to set your new facility. Okay. Second comes expanding a established facility. Expanding. That means you have a facility set up already, right? And it has a production capacity of let's say 1000 units per day, but you want to increase that particular facility for the production capacity of 15,000 units per day. That is expanding of the facility. Then third is expanding के अलावा closing or moving the facility. Closing or moving the facility from one place to another place. So basically these are three things about which the location strategy is applied, right? Now why this location strategy is in fact important? Okay? Why do you need to study about it, or why do you even need to think about it? The factory is going to manufacture your product, it can do so anywhere, right? But no, it is not like that. There is a strategic importance of the location, right? And that it has a strategic importance because there are some factors. There are lot of factors which affects the location strategy, right? So what are those factors that affects the location strategy? The very first factor is market economics. Market economics. That is that how a market behaves, right? Now, as you already know, there are two kinds of markets. There is a perfect market and there is an imperfect market. Okay? So what happens in a perfect market? The product is homogeneous. Whatever you are producing, every other else is also producing the same thing, right? So you cannot distinguish your product from the another. So what happens in that place? In that particular term, you cannot set up higher prices of your product from your competitors. Why? Because you have nothing additional to give. But there is a chance of imperfect market. What happens in imperfect market? Basically the products are heterogeneous. What you are offering is different from what your competitor is offering. Thereby you can set up your own prices. Now what happens when you set up your own price? When you set up your own price, you basically covers the cost, the additional cost that the production has given you, right? So let us say if your facility is in the remote location, right, and the market is say 100 kilometers away, then you have to transport your product from that place to the market, right? Now when you have to transport that product, that involves cost, right? And if you are working in a perfect market, you cannot charge higher prices from your competitors, okay? And it is most likely to be a loss for your firm. Okay, so what happens in a perfect market? You can do that. Why? Because you can say that I am giving some additional feature to you, right? That's why I am charging this product. Okay, so that is all about market economics. Then there is a second point, that is communication. Obviously, when you produce, you have to communicate through the various channels. You have to communicate with your suppliers, you have to communicate with your potential consumers, you have to communicate with your stockist, your wholesaler, or your retailers even, right? So the location should be convenient for your communication with your suppliers and your retailers, right? The third most important is travel and shipping. Travel and shipping. Now obviously you cannot open facilities all over the country or all over the state, right? So what you basically create a product at a particular place called your factory, right? And then you ship that product to the various markets. Okay? Let us suppose you have a factory in Delhi, right? And you are selling your product all over India. Okay? So the location should be convenient for the easy transportation of your product from one place to another. It should not be in so remote locations. Okay? It should not be situated in so remotely that you cannot ship your product, okay, on time, or there is some geographical hurdles or natural hurdles. Okay, so this is also important, travel and shipping. And then comes labor cost. Again, one of the most important factor, okay, because labor is a big chunk of the cost of production, right? Apart from the cost of raw materials or apart from the cost of overheads, labor is a big part of your cost. Okay? So you have to set up your facility at a place where you can get easy labor, right? There are certain factors which affects the labor also that we will be discussing in the coming minutes, but right now you have to focus on labor cost. It should not be somewhere where labor is too costly. Okay, so let's come to the next factor, that is education, or you can say consumers, right? So you are obviously creating your product for the consumers, okay? They are going to be the end users of your product, right? And they should be buying your product, okay? And that means they should have knowledge of your product. That means they should be able to buy your product, means they should have money so that they can buy your product, okay? And number 3, they should be willing to buy your product. Why? Because there should be a need of your product in their life. Okay, so these are the factors which affects our labor or location decisions. So let's come that how the companies decide where should be your facility should be located. Okay, so there are two types of ways to calculate that. One is quantitative way and another is a qualitative way. Qualitative way is when there is no absolute data, okay, to back up your decisions, but yes, there are some factors which cannot be turned into data. Okay, so these are the qualitative factors, and whenever there is a data to support your research or support your decision, that is the quantitative method. So there are two types of methods. We will be doing one method in each of the class, right? तो सबसे पहले हम आते हैं क्वालिटेटिव डाटा पे. तो क्वालिटेटिव डाटा में हमारे पास एक सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट मेथड है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द फैक्टर रेटिंग मेथड. That is called the factor rating method. So what happens in method? ठीक है? Now there are basically two terms. One is factor, ठीक है, and second is rating. What we do? We basically finds out certain factors which are crucial for the success of our venture, and these factors are called critical success factors. Critical success factors. Okay, so what these factors are? ठीक है, so let us take an example of a telecommunication company, for example Airtel or Vodafone or Idea. What should be the critical factor that can calculate their success? ठीक है, it could be basically the number of towers they have installed, ठीक है, for their signal strength. It could be the number of towers they have installed for their signal strength, right? Or it could be the number of users using their telecommunication service, right? So what we do, we basically find out certain factors, ठीक है, which are called the critical success factors and we rate them accordingly. Right? Okay. How are we rating them? We are going to discuss in few minutes. Okay. With the help of a numerical. So let's come to the numerical of factor rating method. Now let us say that your company has identified, or the top management has already identified certain factors which are critical for the success of your venture. Let's say these factors are: number 1, labor; number 2, people, ब्रैकेट में इनकम लिख लेते हैं, दैट इनकम ऑफ योर कंज्यूमर्स, ठीक है। नंबर 3, गवर्नमेंट टैक्स structure. Let us say it is also a factor which is critical for the success of your venture, ठीक है। And let's say there is another that public utilities. Okay, so what we do, and let's say there is another factor, people to car ratio. For example, how many people have cars in your potential target market, ठीक है। So what we do in a factor rating method, basically what we do, we assign certain weights, ठीक है, according to the importance of their factor. Now there could be one factor is more important than other, ठीक है। So let us say for an educational institute, income is more important than people to car ratio, ठीक है। But let us say if you are talking about a cinema or a public mall, labor is more important than people to car ratio, right? So what we do, we basically assign weights to them, ठीक है, according to their priority. Now what we have to take care that the total of these weights should be 1. Okay, so let us say we have assigned weight for the labor 0.25. We assigned the weight of 0.05 for the next factor. We assigned the weight of 0.10 to the next factor, and we assigned the weight of 0.39 for the next factor and 0.21 for the next factor. The total of these weights is going to be 1. Now let us say you have two potential locations, location X and location Y. Location X and location Y. Now what we do, we study these 5 factors in terms to those locations, ठीक है, and we assign whatever the result we will be getting, we will assigning them a rate through the tune of 100, ठीक है, out of 100. Now let us say that this location X has got 70 out of 100 for labor, 50 for the next factor, 85 for the next factor, 75 for the next factor, and 60 for the next factor. Similarly, this Y gets 60 for the first factor, 60 for the second factor, 80 for the next factor, 70 for the next factor, and 70 for the next factor, right? Now what we do next, we multiply these scores to the weight assigns, ठीक है, that will give us the weighted scores for X and Y location, weighted score. Okay, so what we do, 0.25 into 70, we multiply them, the answer comes 17.5. Similarly, for the next range, answer comes 2.5. For the next range, answer comes 8.5. 29.3 and 12.6. For the location, for the next location, it comes 15.0, 3.0, 8.0, 27.3 and 14.7. Now what we do, we add these weighted scores and we get, so when we add these weighted scores, we get 70 for location Y and 68 for location Y, 70 for location X, sorry, and 68 for location Y. Okay? So now we can say that location X is more convenient for our venture than location Y because it has got the maximum score, right? So this is how this method is applied for the scores which cannot be quantified basically, because you cannot quantify the labor productivity, you cannot quantify government tax structure, you cannot quantify the existence of public utilities, right? So you basically assign scores, how important this is, right? And how these two locations are faring out for these factors, okay? And then you multiply these scores in each of the category, then you get addition in each of the categories, right? And you get your location, okay? Next comes the quantitative method. That is break-even analysis method. That is break-even analysis method or locational break-even analysis. Okay. So, but before we use this method to look for the potential location, we first have to know our number one, fixed costs, and number two, variable costs, right? So what is this fixed cost? Fixed cost is basically the cost that occurs to a company only once, right? जो केवल जो बिजनेस के लाइफ स्पैन में कंपनी ने एक ही बार इन्वेस्ट करना है, that is called the fixed cost, such as land, cost on constructing the building, right? The cost of furniture, cost of fixtures, ठीक है? And then comes variable cost. These are the costs or cyclic cost. These are the costs that company incurs on a cyclic level. For example, daily or weekly or monthly or half yearly or yearly, such as electricity cost, labor cost, because you have to pay them every day or every week or every month, right? So before using this method, we should know our fixed cost and variable cost. Once we know them, okay, once we know them, let us say we take an example. Now, let us say a firm called XYZ is looking for the potential location between three places called XYZ. Okay? So these are the places X, Y, and Z, right? And the company wishes to produce 2000 units of product per year. Okay, so let us say that for the location first, the fixed cost, will write them as FC and VC. Okay. the fixed cost for location 1 is 30,000. For the location 1 is 30,000. And same for the location 2 is 60,000. And for the location 3 is 1,10,000. Okay. And similarly, the variable cost for the first location is 75 per unit. It is 45 per unit. And for the location 3, it is 25 per unit. So say the company wishes to sell each unit for 1.20. So this is the total capacity of that factory you are going to be set up. Okay? This is the per unit price of the unit you will be building, and this is the cost structure. Okay, so what we do in location break-even, we calculate the total expenses, and then we will see wherever the expenses is less is most likely to be your location. Okay? For the first, we will see the variable cost for per unit production is 0.75. 75. What we will do, we will get the total cost for the production of 2000 units. Okay? That will be 1 lakh 2000 units, 75 rupees per unit. Okay? $150 for location X. Okay, and then plus this cost, 30,000 fixed cost, that is 180 for location X. For location X, it is 180 total cost. For the location Y, it will be 45 into 2000 units plus 60,000, it will be 150. Okay? And for the location 3, 25 into 2000 plus 110, it will be 160. Now, how will we looking for the profits? That is total cost minus from total revenue. Now, how will we calculating about the total revenue? That is 2000 units into 120. So 2000 into 120. It's 2,40,000. Okay? And then this is the total revenue company will be getting, and this is the total cost. So the total revenue for the firm is 2,40,000, and the total cost at location X is 1,80,000, at location Y it is 1,50,000, and location Z it is 1,60,000. So we minus the total cost from the total revenue. Okay? For X it will be 240 minus 180. For location Y it will be it will be 240 minus 150, and for location Z it will be 240 minus 160. Okay? Wherever your profit is maximum, you will choose that location for the setup of your facility. So this is how we look for the location, right? From both the perspective, from qualitative perspective as well as the quantitative perspective. ठीक है. But now comes a very important decision, ठीक है, that whether your firm is a service provider or a goods manufacturer. That whether your firm is a service provider or a goods manufacturer. As we already know, there is a difference between goods and services. And the main difference between goods and services is inseparability of production and selling. ठीक है? In case of goods, goods can be manufactured anywhere. Okay, goods can be manufactured anywhere and they can be shipped to the market for the selling. But that is not a case of services. Services has to be produced at the point of sale. Okay, so the problem arises in case of goods. Obviously, you want to lower your costs. ठीक है? In case of goods, if you are finding the cost of land too high at some place, as if we saw in the previous numerical, that the price of fixed cost was different for both all three locations, X, Y, and Z. X has, in the previous numerical, you have seen that X has very low fixed costs, right? But turns out, after later analysis, it turns out that location Y is more convenient. Although it has higher fixed costs, but it was more convenient for the production facility, right? So in case of goods, you can do things X or Y, okay, but not in case of services. Okay, they has to be produced where they should be sold. So in the most cases, here the deciding factor is cost, and here in case of services, the deciding factor is revenue, right? ठीक है? Why? Because of in case of goods, there comes tangible costs, okay, and intangible costs. Okay, tangible costs are those which can be recorded, and intangible costs are those which cannot be recorded. Okay, and in services, it is basically the focus upon the revenue, upon which volume of sales. Number two, the purchasing power. Of your consumer. That's why you will see that most of the service enterprises, for example, these fast food chains, okay, or for example these saloons, okay, they are usually situated in a very upmarket area where to and fro of the people is too high, and that is why, because it has a cost focus, most good production facilities are usually located in a remote area or a specialized area called the industrial zones or special economic zones. Okay, so and then there comes the techniques, okay, and then there comes the assumption. Okay, in the case of goods, it is assumed that cost is the deciding factor for the production of the production process, and in case of services, revenue is deemed fixed. Cost could be higher or could be low. Okay, now go back to the factors which were affecting the location analysis. Now, although goods and services have different focus, there are some factors which cannot be ignored. Okay, these factors are: number one, overall costs, overall. Okay, number two is environment. Number four is proximity. Proximity to market and proximity to suppliers. Okay, so costs we had discussed it already. Okay, then comes environment. Okay, now in environment basically there are different kind of environments, right? For example, we have to look for the political environment, right? Then we have to look for the economical environment. Then we have to look for the social environment. Okay, then we should be looking for the technical environment, and then we should be looking for the legal environment. Okay, so first of all, coming to the political environment. So what happens? The polity of a state governs its industrial policy, right? Now, in case of politics, we can say that countries either they are capitalistic, or either they are socialistic, or either they has the mixed economic policy, mixed political system. Okay, so what happens in that system? In capitalistic markets, everything is open for everyone, but it is not a case of the social markets. Okay, where the government intervenes at every steps. Okay, you may find a land more easily in the country called a country like Russia. Okay, but the fact that it is a socialistic country, okay, may cause problems for your business venture. Okay, or you may find the land very costly in a countries like America. Okay, but due to the capitalistic nature, the competition will be very high. Okay, then comes economic environment. Economic environment is usually governed by the economic policy of the country. Okay, what kind of a tax structure it has. Okay, what is the per capita income. Okay, what is the GDP of that particular area. What is the per capita income, or what is the purchasing capacity or paying capacity of the consumer you are targeting. Okay, and then social environment. Social environment usually belongs with the culture of people, or the values they hold. Okay, what kind of a people they are. Okay, you may find the land or so easily in the African countries, but the problem is their social culture that is entirely different to ours. Okay, then technicality means the extent of technology they are basically using in the countries, in the developed countries like America or Russia. Okay, the technology is very fast, but in the developing countries you may not find technology supporting your basically your production enterprise. Okay, and then comes legal. Sometimes the laws of a country governs how the industries should behave. Okay, so there could be labor laws, there could be wages laws related to the wages, there could be laws related to the production of that particular material, or there could be the laws related to setting up the prices of that particular material. So, and then next comes proximity to the market, because obviously you are going to sell your product in a market. Okay, then it should be easy for you to connect with the market. Okay, and then at last proximity to the suppliers, because you will be sourcing out a lot of raw material from different suppliers. It should be easy for you to connect with them. So these are the various factors apart from the cost and revenue which accounts for the location analysis, and that will be all for today. Okay, we will be meeting in the next class.